For decades, doctors believed heart disease was mostly about cholesterol. Lower the cholesterol, lower the risk. Simple, but then something unexpected happened. In a major clinical trial, patients with well-controlled cholesterol were still having heart attacks. That forced researchers to ask a deeper question. If it's not just cholesterol, what else is driving the damage? The answer wasn't a new vitamin. It wasn't a detox. It wasn't a biohack. It was something far more fundamental. The immune system. Not infection, not autoimmune disease, but a low-level, persistent activation that never fully turns off. Today, scientists refer to this state as chronic low-grade inflammation, and it may quietly influence how we age. First, this is important. Inflammation itself is not bad. When you cut your finger, it helps you heal. When you catch a virus, it helps you recover. The problem isn't the response. The problem is when it lingers. Imagine a smoke alarm that keeps chirping long after the fire is out. Not loud enough to panic you, but never fully silent. Over years, that subtle signal can change how tissues function. In cardiovascular research, the evidence is strongest. In the CANTOS trial, researchers reduced a specific inflammatory pathway without changing cholesterol levels. Cardiovascular events dropped. That was a major shift. It showed that the immune system isn't just reacting to plaque buildup. It may help drive it. That doesn't mean cholesterol doesn't matter. It means the story is more complex than we thought. This persistent immune activation is also linked to insulin resistance. Visceral fat tissue, especially around the abdomen, releases signaling molecules that influence metabolic regulation. Over time, that can affect how the body handles glucose. Not overnight, not dramatically, but gradually. The brain is more complicated. Researchers studying Alzheimer's disease have found immune cells in the brain, called microglia, play a role in disease progression. But this is not a simple cause and effect story. Inflammation is part of the process. It is not the entire explanation. The science here is still evolving. So what keeps this low-level immune activity switched on? Several factors repeatedly show up in research. Poor sleep, chronic stress, excess visceral fat, sedentary behavior, highly processed diets. Not because they are toxic, but because they influence immune signaling pathways over time. Your body adapts to what you repeatedly do. Here's the part most people want. There is no single pill that resets this. Large studies consistently support the same pattern. Regular physical activity, adequate sleep, Mediterranean-style eating patterns, weight reduction when appropriate, smoking cessation. Nothing extreme, nothing dramatic, just consistency. And here's the part that often gets lost. You don't want zero inflammation. You need it. Without it, wounds wouldn't heal. Infections wouldn't clear. Survival would be impossible. The goal isn't elimination. It's regulation, balance. The most powerful idea in modern longevity research isn't a supplement. It's this. The body is constantly responding to your daily inputs. Over years, those small signals accumulate. Some push toward dysfunction. Some push toward resilience. The difference isn't dramatic. It's consistent. And that's where real health is built.